Hey, this is OXDF. Today we're looking at the advent of code from 2016 as part of the revival of code 2023. We're doing day 6, signal and noise. Let's take a look at the challenge. Basically, we're going to get this long list of letters, or words, I guess, random letters. And for each column, I need to go through and find the most common character, and then select that as like the password. And so the most common in the first column is E, so I get E, A, E, and then there's an A, and whatever I make Easter. And so that's the challenge. We get our puzzle input and we go. Let's jump over into VS Code. I'm going to go ahead and source my genday script for day 6. I went over this script in detail in the introductory video, but basically it's going to pull my input and create some stubs for me. I'm also going to, because we're starting to get to the point where the example input is longer, I'm actually going to use the file-based input here for testing. So I'm going to go ahead and call this example1.text, and paste that in there. Save that. We can take a look at our input. It's basically, the same as what we saw there. Our password's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 long, and it looks like we have, we're counting across 624 lines. Nothing too exciting there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our tests because we're doing test-driven development here. I am going to actually start to use this. Let's see, puzzle door here, and then we can define. I think I can just select all this and Alt. Control slash. Yeah, there we go. Get rid of this. And so let's see. We don't need to parameterize or skip our test here for part 1. And instead, so what this fixture does is it basically says, I can now pass example1 in here. And now whatever gets returned here, so this like generates a thing that I can pass to other tests to use as data. So here's my example1 coming in. So instead, I'm going to call AOC parse on example1. And just to show you, I can see we can do a print example1. And now what I would expect to see is, we need to know what expected. So the expected here was Easter, I believe. Save that. So now if we do PyTest, let's see. We have our none equals Easter, so that's expecting. We did capture our standard out called printing none. I don't know why it's printing. Oh, okay. So we're calling part. I don't want to do that. Let's just return input like that. In fact, I'm going to edit. We're doing this live. Let's see. In here, in my genday script, we're going to get rid of you. Not then. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Because I just want to get the raw. This basically the point of the fixture to me is just to get the raw input. And so I'm going to parse it and process it in the test itself. If I was really doing test-driven development where the parsing and the processing was significant both, I would probably break these into 2 different tests, test the parsing and test the part 1, but for these examples, it doesn't feel that important. So now when I run PyTest, you can see we get the output here of the example file. Okay, so now we need to write parse in part 1 so that we get Easter. Let's come back up here to day 6. Parsing the input. I guess I just want to get, I'm going to read it in, I'll make lines. So I guess I can return puzzle input dot split lines. It might be nice actually to go ahead and strip here to remove any trailing new lines so that I don't get like an empty thing on the end. But I think that's basically all I want. Processing the data. I don't think this challenge is gonna be that hard. Knock on wood, we haven't solved it yet. So what we want to do is we want to get the columns, right? Pull this into open to side. I'm aware this often goes right under my face, but you don't really need to see. Just having something here is all that's important. Let's see. So we're going to get these line by line. I'm going to show you. I'm actually going to demonstrate to you what my strategy is here. We're going Python. And if we do, grab it here, I guess. Copy that. X equals like that, 3. Ooh, no, not with 3. Let's try that again. X equals 1, 2, 3. Paste, do 3. Now I have X is that, and I can do X dot split lines. I got my thing. I'm going to use the zip function. And what zip does is it takes a set of lists, and then it'll give you the first item. It'll group together all the first items and all the second items and all the third items, etc. So I can actually use star here, and that'll say, don't treat this as an array of things. Treat this as, however many this is, 12 individual strings, as if I'm passing all to zip. And so then zip is going to give me, in fact, we'll just run it and see, so the first item here, the first tuple, is the first letter of each word, E, D, E, R, etc. The second tuple is the second letter of each word, E, R, A, And so right away, I've just already kind of swapped it. So now I've got the columns in their individual items. So we can do that. Let's say calls equals list zip star data, boom, boom. And yeah, that's because we already split lines, so we're done there. Sweet. Now that we have the columns, we're going to use a counter object. We showed this in one of the previous videos. I'll put a link here to try to remember to do that. But from collections, import counter collections. Sweet. And so now we can say, we'll do C for C in calls. Now we're going to be looping over each one. And for each one of these, we're going to create a counter on C. And we don't need to do much with it. We're just going to go ahead and do most common 1. And so that, if we print that, I'll run this just to show you. So we can do Python day 6, and we get the most common, but it's like in this, in fact, we've kind of got our answer right here. We could, I believe this is the answer, but we really want, so we have a list with a tuple. So we need to pull things out of that. So what we're actually going to want is most common. We're going to want the 0th thing to just get it out of the list. We're going to want the 0th thing again to just get the letter and not that. So there, and now all we got to do is return. Oh, what did I type? Return join. So we're going to join that. Oh, we don't need the print anymore. That's for sure. Most common 100. Let's see if that. I believe that's going to work just fine. Part 1, we've got an answer. I guess we should PyTest this just to make sure it's working. But we did pass our test. So let's grab this answer. Over here. We got part 2. I'll pause this and read. All right, so the mistake here is we're changing here for part 2. We're going to do the exact same thing, but this time we're going to get the least common instead of the most common. This seems pretty simple. Let's do that. Oh, let's see. We can come here, test day 6. We should update our tests. So we don't need any of that. And instead of puzzle input, we're going to pass in example 1. So we're going to pass this to example 1, and we're going to expect advent. So we can PyTest, and whoa, oh, that's good. We got an error. We can PyTest, and we have an assert none equals advent. Perfect. So we'll go here into day 6. And we're going to do basically the same thing here because of the way we set this up so nicely. Okay, so most common, we're not going to get the most common 1 anymore. We're going to get the most common all. And then from that list, we're going to get not the 0th one, but the negative first one. So the last one on the list. So it's going to be sorted by most common. We want the least common. So this is going to return all of them. So, giving us letter and count. We want the last one in that list, and then we want to still get just the letter. And I think this is going to be that simple. Let's see if we actually get it. We pass. Python day 6, we have an answer. Paste. Awesome. This might have been the easiest one so far. Hopefully you learned something. Thanks for hanging out with me till the end. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.